In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful diorama using DIORAMA FX products. The diorama is made of resin, and I'm going to add some extra details using the new DIORAMA FX products. I start by applying small stones, using a spatula to help distribute them. Now I add some medium-sized stones. And finally, I place the larger stones. To fix the stones in place, I use terrain fixer using a pipette. As this product works by capillarity, once dry it becomes completely matte. The drying time varies depending on the amount of fixer applied. For priming, I use black primer with an airbrush, adjusting the pressure to 1.8 bars and using a 0.4 mm needle. Once the primer is dry, the painting phase begins. I will use a special dry brush, which will allow me to quickly highlight the volumes on the base. I take some brown camouflage paint, wipe off the excess of paint on a napkin, and apply the dry brush technique over the entire base. Using marine green, I apply a dry brush over the stones. As you can see, this technique allows you to highlight the lighting quickly and effectively. With World War II German beige, I apply a dry brush over the rocks to enhance the highlights. It's important to do this very gently. Now using camouflage green, I add a bit of water and paint the terrain. The key is to keep the brush damp, as this helps the paint flow better over the surface. I add these three colors to the palette to bring different tones to the terrain. This is recommended because it gives more chromatic variety to the base. It's very important to work with wet colors, as this allows them to blend more naturally. I add highlights to the terrain, using a lighter shade of green. I also apply brown washes to add more chromatic variety to the terrain. Once the terrain is painted, it's time to add decoration with adhesive grasses. There are different sizes available, and it's best to combine them for a more realistic effect. Using a pair of tweezers, I peel them off the paper and place them on the terrain. With the tufts in place, I apply some washes in certain areas to further enhance the color variety. Now it's time to apply effects. I'll use Russian mud and apply it to some areas of the diorama. I recommend using an old brush for this task. I will also add European mud to complement the effect. I use a sponge to blend and soften the mud effect. A slightly damp brush can also be used to achieve the same effect. If you add a little water to the brush before applying the mud, you can create a more liquid texture and achieve a different effect. This product dries in approximately 30 minutes, although drying time may vary depending on the amount applied. I will apply pigments to continue adding different textures to the terrain. Finally, I will apply swamp water to add more realism. Using a spatula, I shape it to avoid having a completely flat surface. And this is how the diorama looks after applying the new DIORAMA FX products.